You little girl.
Today's movie is called Deadly Squatters. At the start of the film, a man with a bunny mask chloroforms a man and drags him away. 7 days earlier, married couple Eugene and Laura Reed talk about making babies, but they are having trouble conceiving, so they set appointments with Dr. Reeves for treatments. Eugene is a crime thriller author and Laura is a therapist. While Eugene works on his next book at home, Laura meets with her new patient, Kelly. Kelly shares that she's full of rage, angry towards her father, who had abandoned her. She admits wanting to harm him, but says she calms down after taking her Ozempic. Meanwhile, Tate, a DoorDasher, eats part of Eugene's order before delivering it to Eugene. Eugene gives him a tip, and I wish I could take Tate's tip. After Eugene closes the door, Tate looks into the house through the glass. Later, while Eugene is eating, he hears a thud, prompting him to check on the doorstep. There, he finds a dead crow. Laura's best friend Chelsea comes over for dinner together with her husband Rex. While the couples are playing a game, Eugene gets a call. When he answers, the person on the other end doesn't respond. After Chelsea and Rex leave, Eugene and Laura hear the doorbell ring. Upon checking, they find a gift on their doorstep, which contains a rattle and a pacifier. While Eugene thinks the gift was probably sent by mistake, Laura thinks that someone is being cruel. After she admits that she doesn't think she can undergo another vaginal treatment because it drains her, he suggests they take a weekend vacation so they can have a baby baking marathon. As Eugene and Laura enter their car, Tate, who's waiting in a car with Kelly across the Reed's house, tells Kelly that they're going to move in while the couple is away. Shortly after, the couple drives away for their weekend vacation, and the teens move in, and the girl starts dancing.
Brand flower, look down and wave to all the doubters. Hello, bitch. If you think you've got advice for me, keep it to yourself, bitch.
Chelsea arrives at the Reed's house with a package, and she sees Kelly twerking around the house through the glass on the door. She calls Laura and asks her if someone is house-sitting, and when Laura says no, she tells her she saw something and hangs up to investigate it. Chelsea rings the doorbell, and when Kelly opens the door, Chelsea angrily asks her why she's in her friend's house. When Kelly says the owners gave her a key, Chelsea calls her out for lying. Unbothered, Kelly shuts the door in her face. Chelsea calls Laura to tell her that a girl is in their house. She advises her to drive back home and call the cops. Because of this, Eugene and Laura immediately drive back home and cancel their backbreaking plans. Meanwhile, Kelly is going through Laura's closet and tampering with her skincare. Tate arrives with an order he has stolen. Instead of delivering it, he took it home for him and Kelly to share.
Courtesy of Sheila Cummings.
When Kelly informs him about Chelsea, saying she seems to know the owners and seems to have called them, Tate tells her that they're going to wait. Eugene and Laura arrive, and they immediately recognize Tate and Kelly, respectively. When Laura calls the girl Kelly, the girl tells her that her name is Cassie, not Kelly, and that they've never met before, denying that she has ever been her patient. When confronted, the unbothered teens continue eating, and they calmly say that they live there and they have rights. Oh, hell nah, I would have dragged they asses. Laura informs Rex, who's a lawyer, that the police say their hands are tied because it's a tenant-landlord dispute, and Eugene adds that they are owners, not landlords. Rex says it's a civil matter and that the teens are claiming squatters' rights. This is literally my worst nightmare, and I'm too broke to even be a homeowner. When Rex says the teens are claiming that they have lived in the house for over 30 days, which would give them full rights, Eugene says he and Laura were only gone for 2 days. Left with no choice, the frustrated couple is forced to live under the same roof as the dusty homeless folks for now. Laura expresses that she doesn't feel safe living with strangers, but Eugene shrugs it off, believing they're harmless because they're just kids. Since they don't have the money to spend on a 2-week hotel stay, and Laura refuses to let them run them out of their home, they decide to simply distance themselves. Later that night, Tate watches the Reeds sleep. These are unemployed activities. The next morning, Laura's alarmed to see her rosacea cheeks. Eugene tries to calm her tits, but she's furious. While Laura tries to drink her coffee, Cassie taunts Laura, saying it must be hard having someone prettier around Laura's husband. Bitch, where? While Eugene continues working on his new book, Tate talks to Laura, who's about to leave for work. He apologizes for the situation, saying they only want to live happily like them. When she says they work hard for what they have, so they should too, because nobody owes them anything, he says sometimes people owe something to someone, and they should pay up. He stands firm on refusing Eugene's monetary offer and assures her that they will leave eventually. Seeing how busy Eugene is, Cassie gives him a cup of coffee and asks about his job. When she expresses interest in reading, he shares that he's a crime thriller author and gives her a copy of one of his books. After she wishes him a good day, he drinks the coffee, surprised by their pleasant interaction. Absolutely zero survival instincts drinking that coffee. Cassie then goes to the master bedroom and leaves a speaker under the bed. In her office, Laura gets so bored with the white girl's problems she's trying to therapize. So Laura calls Rex, who tells her that the squatters' names are Tate and Cassie Harris. Laura then uses this to stalk them on Instagram. Tate apologizes to Eugene for the situation, but insists on letting the court decide if they should leave or not. Eugene points out that he should set a better example for Cassie, to which Tate responds that he's the last person to tell him about what's right. When Eugene asks about what he means, Tate says he'll soon learn what he means. We already know what the twist is, just blurt it out. After Tate walks away, Eugene starts feeling unwell. Eugene stumbles as he makes his way to the master bedroom, where he finds Cassie waiting for him, smiling at him as he falls unconscious. She puts him on the bed, opens his shirt, and takes a selfie with him, making it look like she got her back broken by him. She then takes a saliva swab from him before putting him back on his desk. Eugene later wakes up, thinking he just fell asleep while working, so he simply continues working. Strangely, he feels a little looser in his anus, but ignores it. Later that night, Eugene shares with Laura that he had a weird day because he had a weird dream that felt so real. When Laura shares that she's been having trouble focusing at work, Eugene assures her that things will go back to normal once they get their house back. Laura experiences a nightmare where Eugene blames her for giving up on their baby making, saying she's not fit to be a mother. He then leaves her for Cassie. The next morning, Laura says affirmations to make herself feel safe and calm. She imagines the teens packing their stuff and apologizing to them for invading their house, admitting that it is wrong. Laura hears a baby crying, but Eugene says he doesn't. She then tells him she'll talk to Cassie, prompting Eugene to warn her to be careful, as it might make things worse. While playing GTA 6, Tate jokingly tells his friends he likes watching people die in real life. Meanwhile, Laura calmly asks Cassie about her background, saying she wants to get to know her since they're now living together. Cassie shares that she's from Rhode Island, her mom died a few months ago, and she has never met her dad. Tate interrupts and pulls Cassie aside. In their bedroom, Tate calls her out for sharing about their background, warning her that Laura is smart and is trying to get in her head. Cassie tells him that she can handle Laura and suggests they escalate their plans. The teens invite the Reeds to play Taboo, and they accept. Eugene keeps calm, but deep down, he really wants to punch Tate. The Reeds end the game fairly quickly and walk out. Cassie eavesdrops outside of the Reeds' room, and she hears Laura telling Eugene that they should make them uncomfortable so they'll voluntarily leave because the cops won't do anything unless the teens harm them. Cassie immediately informs Tate about this, but Tate suggests they just leave instead of escalating the situation further. Cassie refuses and insists that Eugene needs to pay for what he did to their mom. Cassie sends Laura her stage photo with the unconscious Eugene, prompting Laura to angrily confront Eugene. The clueless Eugene quickly denies it and recalls passing out after Cassie gave him coffee.
I'm gonna kill this bitch.
Furious, Laura confronts Cassie, ordering her to stay away from her mans. Later that night, Laura is awakened by the sound of a baby crying. Tracing where it's coming from, she finds the speaker that Cassie left under their bed. The next day, Laura discovers that the teens used fake names and falsified court documents, and she immediately informs Rex and Chelsea about it. Rex says because of this, the judge can deem the landlord as the rightful homeowner. He then assures Laura that he'll file a motion that same day. Laura returns home and happily informs Eugene about it. Meanwhile, Chelsea finds out Tate and Cassie are twins. When she goes to tell her friends about it, she gets chloroformed to death. Later that night, the teens share with the Reeds that their mom recently died, and they reveal themselves as Eugene's children. They say their mom said they met at the book conference for the Writers Association. When Eugene strongly denies it since he doesn't remember their mom, Tate angrily shows him a photo, and Cassie says they found the letters their mom wrote him, which were all returned. After the teens walk out, Laura points out to Eugene that if it's true, it'll make evicting them impossible since they're Eugene's kids. She's more concerned about that than Eugene abandoning his own children. In the middle of the night, Laura hears Cassie blasting music. She imagines choking her out.
Choke the shit out of you, little girl!
All because Cassie called her stepmom. The next day, the Reeds discover that all of Cassie and Tate's stuff are gone. Relieved, they immediately plan on changing all the locks. Shortly after, Laura finds an envelope containing the DNA paternity test results of Eugene and the teens, but she doesn't tell Eugene about it. Later that night, the teens sneak into the master bedroom and knock the couple unconscious with chloroform and a crowbar. When the Reeds wake up, Eugene continues to deny being their father. This pushes Tate to repeatedly punch Eugene, who is bound in a chair. The unbound Laura runs away, and Cassie takes a knife before chasing her. To appease Tate and buy some time as he frees his hands, Eugene acknowledges him as his son and admits abandoning them because he was young, dusty, and ashamed. He adds that he thought they'd be better off without him in the picture. Once his hands are free, Eugene hits Tate, who fights back. Meanwhile, Cassie enters the bathroom where Laura is hiding. Laura then sneaks up on her and swiftly slits her throat with a shaving knife. Tate beats Eugene and steps back to shoot him. But before he can pull the trigger, Laura appears and hits his head with a crowbar, resulting in his death. 2 years later, Eugene publishes his new book, Deadly Squatters, and that book became a terrible Tubi movie. Then he enjoys his family time with Laura and their new son. What did y'all think of this one? I've seen a movie called The Strays, and that one was done really well compared to this one. Similar plot line.
If you like this video, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications because YouTube isn't recommending my videos. And if you'd like to watch more foolishness, click here or here.